When you hear hardship, you should think of what? Variance is correct. Next trigger word. When you hear good faith, you should think of what? When you hear good faith, you should think of what? Earnest money is correct. When you hear judicial appeal, when you hear judicial appeal, you should think of what? Again, when you hear judicial appeal, you should think of what? Article 78 is correct. What is the most common homeowner's policy you will find? Again, what is the most common homeowner's policy you will find? Give me the code that you should know. HO3 is correct. When you hear the phrase, again, HO3 was correct. Next question. Failure to assert your rights in a timely fashion. Failure to assert your rights in a timely fashion means you might lose those rights as a result of what? Latches is correct. What kind of mortgage has equal payments? Again, what kind of mortgage has equal payments? Fixed rate is the answer. Again, fixed rate is what you're looking for. Next question. Who manages a cooperative? Who manages a cooperative? Board of Directors is the answer. Board of Directors is correct. Who signs the deed? Again, who signs the deed? Grantor is correct. Loss of land as a result of the movement of a waterway. Loss of land as a result of the movement of a waterway. Avulsion is correct. Next question. What is the code that you should know for condominium insurance? What's the code for condominium insurance? The condo insurance code you should memorize is H06. H06 is correct. Next question. Are perennials and trees part of your real estate interest? Yes or no? Are perennials and trees part of a real estate interest? Yes or no? Yes is the answer. Yes is correct. What do we call it when we scare people into listing their homes before minorities move in and values drop? What is that illegal practice known as? Again, scaring people to list and sell their homes before minorities move into the neighborhood. What's this called? Blockbusting is correct. Next question. Again, a mortgage that includes personal property is known as what? Package mortgage is correct. Name 2 types of tenancies that have the right of survivorship. 2 types of tenancies we taught you that have the rights of survivorship. So joint tenancy and tenancy by the entirety is the correct answers. Again, joint tenancy and tenancy by the entirety are the answers we're looking for. What chemicals, again, what chemicals do we find in old radios and transformers? PCBs is correct. What agreement allows a seller to sell and pay no commission? Again, what type of agreement allows a seller to sell and pay no commission? Exclusive agency is a correct answer. Exclusive agency. I'm going to give you an example of some types of income and you tell me what the term is. Anything that's W-2 as well as real estate commissions. What kind of income is that considered by the IRS? Active income is correct. Active income. When you hear the phrase, taking private property for public use, again, taking private property for public use, you should think of what? Eminent domain is correct. Next question. An agency relationship between a property manager and an owner. What type of agency relationship would most likely occur between a property manager and an owner? General agency is what we're looking for. General agency. Give me 3 examples of when you don't need to use a property condition disclosure form. So divorces, when you're settling in a state, foreclosures, transfers between family members, those are some of the most common examples we use. When you hear the phrase POB or point or place of beginning, you should think of what? Again, when you hear point or place of beginning, POB, you should think of what term? Meets and bounds description. Meets and bounds description is what we're looking for. Good job. When was sex added to the Federal Fair Housing Act? What year? You need to know this. When was sex added to the Federal Fair Housing Act? What year? 1974. Next question. The old air conditioning refrigerant is bad for the ozone because of what? What's the reason we told you that you need to know that the old refrigerant used in old air conditioners are bad for the ozone because of what item in there? CFCs is correct. CFCs is what we're looking for. How do you calculate, here's a new question, how do you calculate the capitalization rate? Net operating income divided by value or sale price. So the net operating income divided by the value or the sale price. Next question. When you hear subdivision and development, what should you think of? Again, when you hear subdivision and development, what should you think of? So the answer to subdivision and development is Article 9A. Article 9A, good job. Next question. When banks don't lend in particular areas because of racially motivated reasons, what do we call that? Redlining is correct. Next question. A clause in a lease that allows you to use the space for any legal reason. What do we call that? Again, a clause in a lease that allows you to use the space for any legal reason. What do we call that? It's called a use clause. Next question. What are the two depreciation periods we told you to please memorize? Again, the two depreciation periods you should memorize. $27.5 and $39 is correct. Again, $27.5 and $39, where 27.5 is residential property and 39 is for commercial. Good job. Next question. Who holds the funds in a 1031 tax-free exchange? What do we call the person who holds the funds in a 1031 tax-free exchange? The answer is qualified intermediary. Qualified intermediary. Next question. Scaring people into listing with you because of the change in the racial makeup of a neighborhood. What is that term that we covered tonight? The answer is blockbusting, ladies and gentlemen. Blockbusting, not steering. Blockbusting is scaring people into selling because of the change in the composition of the neighborhood. Next question. When was familial status added to the Federal Fair Housing Act? Again, when was familial status added to the Federal Fair Housing Act? $1988 is correct. Next question. Who signs the purchase offer first? Who signs the purchase offer first? The buyer or purchaser is correct. Next question. If the heating system for a home is insufficient to heat it, or if you have to walk through a bedroom to get to another bedroom, what do we call this situation? Functional obsolescence or functional depreciation is correct. Next question. The open, notorious use of someone else's property for a period of 10 years. Again, the open, notorious use of someone else's property for a period of 10 years can result in what? Easement by prescription. Again, that's easement by prescription. Next question. Combining parcels to be sold as one for a larger price than if sold separately. Again, combining two parcels to be sold as one in order to get a larger price is known as what? So the answer we're looking for is assemblage. Assemblage. And I want to just take a moment and explain to you. Plottage often goes along with assemblage, and the way to remember the difference is plottage is the increased value resulting as a result of combining the lots. Okay, so plottage is the increase in value as a result of assembling the two lots. That's how you remember that, ladies and gentlemen. In the program, we told you should memorize the PEN formula, P-E-N. What is that? What does that help you do? Good job, Jessica. That is correct. NOI. It helps you calculate NOI. So PGI is potential gross income. That's the income from all sources, ladies and gentlemen. Then we subtract out vacancy and collection costs. That results in the E of PEN. E stands for EGI, effective gross income. Again, that's effective gross income. Then you subtract out the expenses it takes to run the property, and that results in the NOI, the net operating income. I'm happy to tell you that that is the end of our review session.